Today I am going to discuss what is sale and what is agreement to sale, and difference between sale and agreement to sale. This comes under Transfer of Property Act 1882 under section 54. So friends, according to section 54 of the Transfer of Property Act, in short TPA 1882, a sale is the transfer of ownership of immovable property. You must remember that this section only deals with immovable property in exchange for a price, which may be fully paid or promised, or partly paid and partly promised. In this, the seller transfers his rights absolutely to the buyer. What happens in this case? The seller transfers all the rights of that property absolutely to the buyer. Now, some essential elements of sale. So what are these essential elements of sale? Parties. The seller and the buyer must be two different persons. It means there must not be a single person who can sell and buy. So there must be two different persons. This is the first essential element of a sale. Second, subject must be a transferable, immovable property. This is the second condition. This element, value oblique consideration. It is essential to have a definite value in the form of money. So there must be a consideration, exchange of money for the property. Transfer of ownership. Transfer of full rights to property. It means all the rights attached with the property are transferred to the buyer. Registration. The property must be registered. So registered deed is mandatory for sale of immovable properties worth rupees 100 or more. If the property is worth rupees 100 or more, a registered deed is required. Delivery. Property worth less than rupees 100 can be sold without registration by simply handing over possession. So friends, these were the essential elements of sale. Now coming to agreement to a sale. Agreement to sale means the rights are not transferred directly, but these are confirmed after registration when the ownership is then transferred. In the sale, simultaneously transfers the rights, but in case of agreement to sell, there is an agreement between the seller and the buyer, and when the buyer fulfills those conditions, then all the rights of the property are transferred to the buyer. So let us now discuss what are the differences between a sale and an agreement to sell. So first is ownership transfer. A sale immediately transfers title to the buyer. In the case of a sale, title is transferred, means all the rights attached with the property are immediately transferred to the buyer. But in case of an agreement, does not transfer ownership, which remains with the seller until the final sale deed is registered. So this is the difference. Second is nature of contract. A sale is an executed contract, means all obligations have been met with. All obligations have been completed, which are required for the execution of the contract. An agreement to sell is an executory contract, means some obligations are not yet fulfilled and they have to be fulfilled by the buyer. Third is risk liability. In a sale, risk passes to the buyer immediately. What is risk here? Suppose you are going to buy a house. When you pay money for the house, all the rights of the house are transferred to you. But suppose the house catches fire, then what happens? The risk of catching fire now passes to buyer immediately. So there is no liability of the seller. Now it is your liability if you are a buyer. In an agreement to sell, risk remains with the seller until the final sale deed is executed. Suppose you are planning to buy a house, uh, by an agreement to sell, then so long there is no final deed, the risk remains with the seller. Means if the house catches fire, that is the risk on the seller. So this is the difference between sale and agreement to sell. Now coming to legal rights. What are the legal rights? A sale gives the buyer full legal ownership, right in rem. Full legal ownership means whatever the rights are attached with the property are transferred to the buyer immediately. That is right in rem. All the rights, full legal rights. But in case of an agreement, only creates a personal obligation against the seller. As the buyer is purchasing a property, it creates only a personal obligation against the seller. How? Because some of the conditions have not been fulfilled by the buyer, so he had the right in personam, personal right. If the seller wants to get it back, he may do it. So he gets, in this case, the buyer gets only personal obligation, some rights, that is called right in personam. Now breach of contract. There is also difference. If an agreement to sell is breached, if an agreement to sell is breached, then what happens? The remedy usually is suit for damages. You can claim for a suit for damages or specific performance. But when there is a breach of sale deed, it allows for legal action to claim damages or reclaim property ownership. If there is breach regarding a sale deed, means what have been given are not found correct, are not found up to satisfaction, then there may be legal action to claim damages or reclaim property ownership. So this is the difference, breach of contract. So friends, these were the basic differences between sale and an agreement to sell. Now we are coming to some related examples to make you understand better. Now the examples of sales, which is an executed contract, means all formalities have been completed. So what may be the examples? Retail purchasing. Suppose you are buying grocery or a smartphone at a store. When you buy grocery or a smartphone, you have to pay money. So this is immediate transaction. So it's come under sale. Cash transaction. Suppose you are paying, you are going to take a position of a second hand cycle and you are paying something in cash. So this is also example of sale and execution is completed. So these are the two basic examples for sale. Now coming to agreement to sell, which executory contract, in this case future goods. You must remember that these are concerned with future. So future goods, a contract for a farmer to sell 100 bags of rice. Suppose a farmer wants to sell 100 bags of rice, but he is not going to supply now. He will sell to the buyer after the upcoming harvest. So this is an executory contract example. Customized product, ordering a custom designed home theater system that will be delivered and installed next month. So this is also an agreement, a example of agreement to sell. Means this is also an example of executory contract. So friends, this is all about sale and an agreement to sale. And what are the essential elements of a sale? I have described here in very short. Hope you will find very good. And if you have any comment, do comment in the comment box. And friends, those who have not yet subscribed this channel must subscribe it. Thanks for watching.